My name is Aaron Imhoff, and I work here as a senior engineer for Ingenuity Innovation Center.
Okay.
And my name is Kate Woodruff, and I am one of the co-founders of Ingenuity Innovation Center, and also known as the Paradigm Shifter.
A paradigm shifter, that's pretty awesome. I like that. All right, so we're here on your 20-acre farm. We've got a, how big is the greenhouse here?
1,500 square feet.
1,500 square foot greenhouse with a couple of working aquaponics systems.
Right, and two more coming.
All right. Tell us in a nutshell what aquaponics is.
So aquaponics is the merger of aquaculture and hydroponics, right? Aquaculture is raising fish, and hydroponics is a soilless medium of growing plants. And by joining them, we fix all the problems that exist in both industries. In hydroponics, you have a lot of fossil fertilizers that are not really sustainable. They turn the water bad over a certain time, and you have to dump and start over. And the same thing happens in aquaculture. You're using all these chemicals to get rid of the ammonia, and eventually you have to dump and start over. Well, by merging the two, we never dump. We never have to dump water. It's a complete sealed system.
Okay, so what's in this tank?
So we've got 30 adult male tilapia in this tank.
Okay.
It's a mix of blue and reds, and they're probably 1.5 years old. Tilapia in captivity will live for 20 years if you don't eat them. That's right.
But that's well, we had gotten kind of a rough start, and it was really with the economic downturn where we lost everything. Aaron had lost his business. I'd actually owned and operated a town in Central Oregon called Service Creek, population 2. And when we met one another, I saw the opportunity along with Aaron to, why don't we look at bringing our family together and seeing about creating a place where people can come together to create sustainable solutions. So Aaron's mother, Rosemary, got online and found this wonderful place in St. Helens, Oregon, where we're at with 20 acres and 2 homes. And that gave rise to this idea. And so aquaponics seemed to be the first project that everybody voted on, because we all want to have good, organic, GMO-free food, and Aaron saw this as a wonderful solution that we could implement.
Well, it does seem like a pretty interesting solution. Basically, this is what you would call a closed loop production system. Explain to me a little bit more how the closed loop works.
Well, the fish do what they do best. It's kind of, right, they eat, and their waste is pumped into the plant beds. The plants turn that with a culture of bacteria into food and clean the water for the fish. So it's kind of a symbiosis, right? The fish provide the food for the plants clean the water for the fish, and that's almost a closed loop.
Okay.
Granted, we're adding food, we're adding a few nutrients here and there, but
a little water.
A little
electricity.
Right.
Okay.
It's a really efficient on the water, though. We only lose about 7% of the water due to evaporation and plant uptake. Traditional farming, you're losing about 90% of it just to the soil. So in places where water is scarce, this is a great idea.
We have all sorts of different heirloom varieties that we're showcasing and trying out here. We have peppers, we've done kales with chives, Tabasco peppers, squashes, zucchinis, cucumbers, watermelons, strawberries, asparagus, blueberries, you name it.
Lemon trees, avocado.
Yeah,
I think you said that already.
You've got a few things that people wouldn't normally think of, like a lemon tree.
Right.
Very interesting. And they all do really well
Yeah.
in this medium. And there's no soil.
No soil.
Okay. What are they growing in?
They're growing in river rock. That's 3/4 inch. And we like river rock better than, like lava rock or hydroton, which are some of the other ideas. One of the things we like about it is it's rounded. It is giving more place for surface area, but it's not holding on to the nutrient. And that's one of the things that we noticed is a beneficial way to go versus something like lava rock. The magic number here is 12 inches. It's 12 inches of gravel. And it's constantly filling and draining. And this is really important because we get oxygen to the roots. So we have a rock shroud here that holds the rocks back and allows the water to flow. And inside that rock shroud there is a 1-inch upstand pipe that goes through the bed via a bulkhead and then runs to the sumps. And then this bell goes over that 1 inch. And as the water level reaches the point of the 1 inch where it starts to spill, it vortexes and then it siphons. And it will siphon all the water down until it pulls oxygen and repeats. It's about a 12-15 minute full. It's less than a minute drain. We end up creating 3 zones. The bottom 2 inches, which is always wet, always full of nutrient. Then the next 8 inches where the water is constantly raising and lowering. And then the top 2 inches where it's dry to prevent algae growth. Right, this is a visual demonstration of the auto siphon. So we have a little viewer window here, and behind that viewer window is a built-in permanent bell siphon. You can kind of see that there may be some holes drilled in the bottom here. And so water fills up. There's an upstand pipe. As it's filling up here, you can see that once it reaches that pipe, it begins to spill over and drain into the lower tank with a full siphon. And it's going to do that here right now. And only does it until the water reaches the bottom does it pull the oxygen, breaking the siphon. And you kind of see this gurgle moment. So we have the water right now, it's always on, it's always filling. And as it leaves, it goes through this venturi, which grabs all the waste at the bottom and brings it up and out and down to our sump tanks. The benefit of this too is also that it's pulling air as it does it, and it helps to aerate the whole system. The pump pumps to everything. Everything drains to the sump pumps to everything. So eventually there's a plan to go off the grid here. We do have a couple windmills for a backup system, but we have the ability to go further.
Yeah, and what I love about the windmill designs that we chose is that it integrates in with other renewable resources as well. So solar panels are something that we're actually building here on site to have integrated in. Well, these are all repurposed materials. That was one of the things that I worked in the food manufacturing industry. So these containers, luckily being up here in the Pacific Northwest, there's lots of food processors. So we can come across these kinds of what we call IBCs, or intermittent bulk containers, pretty accessibly and also pretty cheap. You just have to make sure you understand what's been stored in them beforehand. So these all had organic and GMO-free ingredients. Aaron did a lovely job cutting them down. So that's what our fish tanks and our plant beds are made out of. We have all sorts of different heirloom varieties that we're showcasing and trying out here. We have peppers, we've done kales with cards, Tabasco peppers, squashes, zucchinis, cucumbers, watermelons, strawberries, asparagus, blueberries, you name it.
Lemon trees, avocado.
Yeah,
I think you said that already.
You've got a few things that people wouldn't normally think of.